Vitality is our ability to have spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical bliss. Some call it paradise. We call it a game.
Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So what we're talking about is the uproar with the Sesame Street characters that ignored two little black girls and that video going viral, and why we're actually upset with this. Because, okay, we can say, okay, the racism and that sort of thing, but I'm going to have a different perspective. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and share the screen, and I'm going to read the article in connection to this. Let me see if I can make it bigger for everybody to actually see. Attorney vows to investigate after viral video appears to show Sesame Place character ignored two young black girls. Langhorne, Pennsylvania. A family is calling for sweeping change at Sesame Place. This comes after a mother claims her daughter and niece, who are black, were discriminated against by an actor in costume last weekend. An attorney for the family says the park's response so far has not been enough. The 9-second video posted on social media Saturday at Sesame Place in Langhorne has gone viral, and it's sparking outrage. Jody Brown, the mother of one of the 6-year-old girls seen in the video, described the moment it appears to show a Sesame Street character, Rosita, waving off her daughter and her niece. The girls were anxious to get a hug and high five from the character whom they claim had done just that with other white children in a parade line. First thing, as a parent, you want to defend your child and you want to protect their innocence. Brown and her daughter were flanked by their attorney, Beavery Lamar, along with community activists in New York City Wednesday, demanding action be taken by the park to address what they're describing as a blatantly racist incident that crushed the little girl's spirit. What has taken place at Sesame Place this past Saturday in the months and years prior is utterly disgusting, Lamar said. We cannot and will not allow our children to leave a park leaving empty when they should leave feeling empowered. That's part of the problem. We looking for them to be empowered. Without sound, I'm just going to back up what took place. You can see they weren't ignored. They were waved off. Okay. She does it with little kids and waves them away. Now, let's finish reading. Lamar said more families are coming forward. I know our black girls are magic, but I didn't know that they were invisible. We are tired of your excuses. We're tired of justifications. We will not tolerate racism in this country. Sesame Place officials are claiming it was a misunderstanding and that the performer inside the costume is devastated by the controversy. Officials with Sesame Place said in a statement on Monday, "We sincerely apologize to the family for their experience in our park on Saturday. We know it's not okay. We are taking actions to do better. We are committed to making this right." Family members of the two young girls want more than just an apology. They're calling for immediate termination of the performer, cost cover for mental health support for the girls. See, this is too much. And further action to combat racial bias in theme parks around the country. See, that mental health stuff, that we're going to talk about that. I just want them to be able to do the right thing. Being that me, my niece, and my daughter have all suffered one embarrassment, discriminatory behavior that should not happen during these days and times. See, that's part of the problem. She thinks she's in a different day and time where this isn't going to go on. That's the whole issue. Brown's daughter was not at the press conference Wednesday, explaining her daughter is in isolation because of the incident. Sesame Place's statement also promised additional diversity training for staff. Eyewitness News reached out to park officials Wednesday for their response to the family's press conference. We have yet to hear back. Now, I went ahead and stopped sharing. I'm gonna read one more, not the entire article, because it's very long. But I want to share something with you. The unmistakable Black roots of Sesame Street. Okay. 40 years ago, upon the 10th anniversary of the debut of Sesame Street, the New York Times offered an appraisal of the revolutionary children's television program, reminding readers that the show, with universal appeal, initially declared its audience the 4-year-old inner city Black youngster. This year, as the show commemorates its 50th anniversary, this was written in 2019, by the way, and it's broadcast in more than 150 countries, it's worthwhile to take a look back at how, since its inception, Sesame Street has been rooted in the African American culture, more specifically, the historically Black community of Harlem. The New York City neighborhood plays such an outsized role in the development of the program, from set design to casting and marketing. To answer the question from the Sesame Street opening song, "Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?" Y'all remember that. Y'all know I went all the way back to my childhood with that. The answer ought to be Duke Ellington's "Take the A Train." Sesame Street arose from the LBJ administration Great Society Agenda, a series of federal programs that carried the ambitious goal of eliminating poverty and racial injustice. As part of these aspirations, Johnson, who had taught poor Mexican American children while a student in college, created Head Start in 1965. Seeking to disrupt the multi-generational cycle of poverty through early education programs for disadvantaged preschool children. Now, I'm going to stop sharing. I may put the link to that article in the description box if you want to read it yourself, because it's very long. Now, let's get to my perspective. Okay. Now, we see the obvious what's going on, okay? We see that the character in the suit claps hands with the little white kids. When she gets to the little Black kids, she kind of waves them off. She didn't ignore them. It wasn't a thing of I didn't see them. She saw them and was like, no, we're not going to interact, which is what got people in an uproar. And okay, but here's the problem. We are continuing to expect that these institutions, these Disneylands and Sesame Place and whomever, whatever, are going to have good values and are going to basically demonstrate the 10 life values. And it's going to make us feel included and make us feel accepted and make us feel all of these types of things. However, the thing that we missing is that these places have their own agenda. See, we think they still stand for the stuff that they stood for back when they first got started, or what they said they stood for back when they first got started. Wholesome entertainment for the children, and it was supposed to be love for everybody, and this is the one place you can come where we didn't have to deal with racism and blah 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 blah. We just coming for the kids and we having fun, and they all just kids and yada yada yada. Right. These places got their own agendas. They've got rainbow agenda. They got intersectionality agenda. They got racism as an agenda. They got all these different agendas that don't have anything to do with just bringing little kids together and having fun with the little kids. And they get to look at the Sesame Street or the Disney World or whomever little characters, and they go home and they have a good time, right? This is what this has been about, is family and leisure, right? Like I just read a part of the article, Sesame Street actually started from Harlem as something meant for Black children, right? Little Black kids from the inner city that was meant to actually teach those values, the value of family, the value of friendship, the value of, you know what I mean, who they are, to validate them, right? So we taught them the ABCs in this fun kind of way. And we taught them how 1, 2, 3 in this fun kind of way. And we taught them about friendship in this fun kind of way. You had Oscar, who was a grouch. And then, we would make him interact with Big Bird or something like that to get him out of his grouchiness and all of this type of things that, the overall message was to teach children how to have these values or whatever, or to reinforce the values that they were supposed to be learning at home, right? We weren't supposed to rely on Sesame Street to teach our children value. However, it could have been used as a tool to reinforce the value that we gave our children. Okay. The thing that we have to understand is that the people that's running this stuff, like I said, have their own agenda. They're not going to maintain the same core values. And we're upset because we got shunned by people who we think are obligated to hug us, that are obligated to love us, that are obligated to acknowledge us, that are obligated to treat us well and treat us fairly and make us feel validated and make us feel accepted. That the character in the suit was aware of the little girls, purposely devalued them, waved them away. We're not interacting with y'all. First of all, because Black kids and Black parents, usually Black mothers, have this reputation that precedes them. And what we're starting to see is the rest of society acting on that, regardless of the fact of whether or not the Black women and children are acting out at that time or not. They can be being very civil. However, people in society are starting to treat Black women how Black women have been acting. Told you, sitting back talking about it ain't you and your friends is a non sequitur. We don't care because we're carrying the L that we allowed the hyenas to create for us. So now they've created an appearance value that doesn't look good and reflect well on Black women. So Black women have learned to marginalize each other when you're not a part of the gynocracy, marginalize Black men, and now society is showing we'll marginalize you. You're marginalized. We don't like you either, right? You're in the same boat as everybody else that you thought you weren't in the boat with, right? So here's the other part. Here's the kicker part. People can be mad at the Sesame Street character. People can be mad and say, oh, well, they shouldn't treat the little kids like that, and it's racist, and this, and this, that. But I don't even blame them. I don't blame the person in that suit. I don't blame Sesame Place. I don't blame Disneyland. I don't blame none of them. I blame us that continue to show up at these places, that continue to bring our children to these places, expecting fair treatment, expecting not to have these racial incidents happen, expecting to be approved of, expecting to be validated, expecting to be acknowledged and loved and hugged on and accepted and poo-pooed and tutued by institutions and people who have shown us repeatedly time and time again that that's not what they do. That's not what they own. That you are not acceptable, that you are not validated, that they'll do this kind of stuff randomly to you and you don't really have a whole lot of recourses. I put this on us. Stop spending your money at these places all the time. We take leisure too seriously. And we don't take family seriously enough. Black culture is in trouble because we got a lot of single mothers. And when we got a lot of single mothers with no fathers, leisure takes this form where you get your kids and you take them to Disneyland. We spend a lot of money. The reason why we doing it like that is because women like convenience. If we spend money at Disney World to stay there for a week, we ain't got to worry about the food and we ain't got to worry about where we going to stay. And we paying for the convenience of not having to have the problem solved. The problem is already solved because it was included in the bundle of the package of how much you paid. And it take the pressure off of us. We could just take our kids somewhere and we ain't got to really teach them nothing or do nothing with them to create the memories. See, when we had fathers, you do stuff like go camping. You do stuff like you have a family vacation and we ain't got to go and spend our money at Disneyland. We don't got to go do that. We can create our own thing that we going to do as a family. And not only will we have fun, but we'll come away having learned something and having gotten a skill or something like that. See, single Black mothers ain't going to take their kids camping. You're not going to go camping. I don't go over there. It's bugs over there. See, you'd rather take them to Disney World because it's easier. What we got to stop doing is looking for other people to give our children the value that we should be giving our kids. She shouldn't have been embarrassed. There would be no way my kid would be feeling no type of way at no Disney place or no Sesame Street place about somebody that's being paid minimum wage in a hot, unventilated suit. That's why you're mad. But my kids will already have value instilled in them by me and their father. Period. So I'm not taking my kids to look up to Mickey Mouse. That's a rat. We used to kill them in the hood, okay? You're not coming up trying to wave at Rosita. Her little fur was nappy anyway. So why are we embarrassed? Why are we making our children look to these fictitious characters? And when these characters or whatever show you what it's all about and they don't acknowledge you, now my kid got to feel some type of way. No, and that's on us. We don't teach them the value. We looking at everybody else to teach them about. We not going to accept racism in this day and age. What you going to do about it? Nothing but be mad. And the world going to move on next week. We're not even going to be talking about this. And you mean to tell me your kid is what? And having mental health issues? That's your problem. Because that little girl should not even be feeling no type of way like that. Because she should know I'm valuable because my parents told me and they show me that. Before we wrap this up, I want to draw everybody's attention to Black Lives Matter organization petition that we have against them for their theft from the Black community of more than $90 million. The link to that petition is in the description box. Please go ahead and share, sign, and contribute to that. And also sound off in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.